Ah, welcome. Warm yourself by the fire. Have a seat or snuggle up in your favorite spot and let me read you some Civil War poems by Walt Whitman and some of his excerpts from Drum Taps. Come up from the fields, Father. Here's a letter from our Pete. And come to the front door, Mother. Here's a letter from thy dear son. Lo, 'tis autumn. Lo were the trees, deeper green, yellower and redder, cool and sweeten Ohio's villages with leaves fluttering in the moderate wind. Where apples ripe in the orchards hang, and grapes on the trellised vines. Smell you the smell of the grapes on the vines? Smell you the buckwheat, where the bees were lately buzzing? Above all, lo, the sky so calm, so transparent after the rain, and with wondrous clouds below too, all calm, all vital and beautiful. And the farm prospers well. Down in the fields, all prospers well. But now from the fields come Father, come at the daughter's call, and come to the entry, Mother, to the front door, come right away. Fast as she can, she hurries, something ominous, her steps trembling. She does not tarry to soothe her hair nor adjust her cap. Open the envelope quickly. Oh, this is not our son's writing, yet his name is signed. Oh, a strange hand writes for our dear son. Oh, stricken mother's soul. All swims before her eyes, flashes with black. She catches the main words only. Sentences broken. Gunshot wound in the breast. Cavalry skirmish. Taken to hospital. At present low, but will soon be better. Ah, now the single figure to me, amid all teeming and wealthy Ohio with all its cities and farms. Sickly white in the face and dull in the head, very faint, by the jamb of a door leans. Grieve not so, dear mother, the just-grown daughter speaks through her sobs. The little sisters huddled around, speechless and dismayed. See, dearest mother, the letter says Peter will soon be better. Alas, poor boy, he will never be better, nor may be needs to be better, that brave and simple soul. While they stand at home at the door, he is dead already. The only son is dead. But the mother needs to be better. She with thin form, presently dressed in black. By day her meals untouched, then at night fitfully sleeping, often waking, in the midnight waking, weeping, longing with one deep longing. Oh, that she might withdraw unnoticed, silent from life escape, and withdraw, to follow, to seek, to be with her dear dead son. Vigil strange I kept on the field one night, when you, my son, and my comrade dropped at my side that day. One look I but gave, which your dear eyes returned with a look I shall never forget. One touch of your hand to mine, oh boy, reached up as you lay on the ground. Then onward I sped in the battle, the even contested battle, till late in the night, relieved to the place at last, again I made my way. Found you in death so cold, dear comrade. Found your body, son of responding kisses, never again on earth responding. Buried your face in the starlight. Curious the scene. Cool blew the moderate night wind. Long there and then in vigil I stood, dimly around me the battlefield spreading. Vigil wondrous and vigil sweet, there in the fragrant silent night. But not a tear fell, not even a long-drawn sigh. Long, long I gazed. Then on the earth, partially reclining, sat by your side, leaning my chin in my hands, passing sweet hours, immortal and mystic hours with you, dearest comrade. Not a tear, not a word. Vigil of silence, love and death. Vigil for you, my son, and my soldier. As onward silently stars aloft, eastward, new ones upward stole. Vigil final for you, brave boy. I could not save you. Swift was your death. I faithfully loved you and cared for you living. I think we shall surely meet again. Till the latest lingering of the light. Indeed, just as the dawn appeared, my comrade I wrapped in his blanket, enveloped well his form, folded the blanket well, tucking it carefully overhead and carefully under feet, and there and then, and bathed by the rising sun, my son in his grave, in his rude, dug grave I deposited. Ending my vigil strange with that, vigil of night and battlefield dim, vigil for boy of responding kisses, never again on earth responding. Vigil for comrade swiftly slain, vigil I will never forget. How as day brightened, I rose from the chill ground and folded my soldier well in his blanket, and buried him where he fell. A march in the ranks hard-pressed, and the road unknown. A route through a heavy wood with muffled steps in the darkness. Our army foiled with loss severe, and the sullen remnant retreating. Till after midnight, glimmer came upon us the lights of a dim-lighted building. We come to an open space in the woods, and halt by the dim-lighted building. 'Tis a large old church at the crossing roads, now an impromptu hospital. Entering but for a minute, I see a sight beyond all the pictures and poems ever made. Shadows of deepest, deepest black, just lit by moving candles and lamps, and by one great pitchy torch, stationary, with wild red flames and clouds of smoke. By these, crowds, groups of forms vaguely I see on the floor, some in the pews laid down. At my feet more distinctly a soldier, a mere lad in danger of bleeding to death. He is shot in the abdomen. I staunched the blood temporarily. The youngster's face is white as a lily. Then, before I depart, I sweep my eyes o'er the scene, fain to absorb it all. Faces, varieties, postures beyond description, most in obscurity. Some of them dead. Surgeons operating, attendants holding lights, the smell of ether, the odor of blood, the crowd. Oh, the crowd of the bloody forms. The yard outside also filled. Some on the bare ground, some on planks or stretchers, some in the death spasms sweating. An occasional scream or cry. The doctors shouted orders or calls. the glisten of the little steel instruments catching the glint of the torches. These I resume as I chant. I see again the forms. I smell the odor. Then hear outside the orders given. Fall in, my men. Fall in. But first I bend to the dying lad, his eyes open. A half smile gives he to me. And the eyes close, calmly close, and I speed forth to the darkness, resuming, marching, ever in darkness marching, on in the ranks, the unknown road, still marching. An old man bending, I come among new faces. Years looking backward, resuming in answers to children. Come, tell us, old man, as from young men and maidens that loved me. Aroused and angry, I'd thought to beat the alarm and urge relentless war. But soon my fingers failed me. My face drooped and I resigned myself to sit by the wounded and soothe them, or silently watch the dead. Years hence of these scenes, of these furious passions, these chances of unsurpassed heroes, was one side so brave, the other was equally brave. Now be witness again, paint the mightiest armies of earth, of those armies so rapid, so wondrous. What saw you? Tell us. What stays with you latest and deepest, of curious panics, of hard-fought engagements or sieges, tremendous, what deepest remains? O maidens and young men I love, and that love me, what you ask of my days, those the strangest and sudden, your talking recalls. Soldier alert, I arrive after a long march covered with sweat and dust. In the nick of time I come, plunge into the fight, loudly shout in the rush of successful charge, enter the captured works, yet lo, like a swift-running river they fade. Pass and are gone they fade. I dwell not on soldiers' perils or soldiers' joys. Both I remember well. Many the hardships, few the joys. Yet I was content, but in silence, in dreams' projections, while the world of gain and appearance and mirth goes on. Soon, what is over forgotten, and waves wash the imprints off the sand. With hinged knees returning, I enter the doors. While for you up there, whoever you are, follow without noise and be of strong heart. Bearing the bandages, water and sponge, straight and swift to my wounded I go, where they lie on the ground after the battle brought in, where their priceless blood reddens the grass and the ground, or to the rows of the hospital tent, or under the roofed hospital. To the long rows of cots up and down each side I return. To each and all, one after another, I draw near. Not one do I miss. An attendant follows holding a tray. He carries a refuse pail, soon to be filled with clotted rags and blood, emptied and filled again. I onward go. I stop with hinged knees and steady hand to dress wounds. I am firm with each. The pangs are sharp, yet unavoidable. One turns to me his appealing eyes. Poor boy, I never knew you. Yet I think I could not refuse this moment to die for you, if that would save you. Oh, on I go. Open doors of time, open hospital doors. The crushed head I dress. Poor crazed hand, tear not the bandage away. The neck of the cavalryman with the bullet through and through I examine. Hard the breathing rattles, quite glazed already the eye, yet life struggles hard. Come, sweet death, be persuaded, O beautiful death, in mercy, come quickly. From the stump of the arm, the amputated hand, I undo the clotted lint, remove the slough, wash off the matter and blood. Back on his pillow the soldier bends with curved neck and side-falling head. His eyes are closed. His face is pale. He dares not look on to the bloody stump, and has not yet looked on it. I dress a wound in the side, deep, but a day or two more, foresee the frame all wasted and sinking, and the yellow-blue countenance. See, I dress the perforated shoulder, the foot with the bullet wound. Cleanse the one with a gnawing and putrid gangrene so sickening, so offensive, while the attendant stands behind or beside me holding the tray and pail. I am faithful. I do not give out. The fractured thigh, the knee, the wound in the abdomen, these and more I dress with impassive hand, yet deep in my breast a fire, a burning flame. Thus in silence, in dreams' projections, returning, resuming, I thread my way through the hospitals. The hurt and wounded I pacify with soothing hand. I sit by the restless all the dark night. Some are so young, some suffer so much. I recall the experience, sweet and sad. Many a soldier's loving arms about this neck have crossed and rested. Many a soldier's kiss dwells on these bearded lips. The last sunbeam lightly falls from the finished Sabbath. On the pavement here and there, beyond it is looking down a new-made double grave. Lo, the moon ascending, up from the east, the silvery round moon, beautiful over the housetops, ghastly, phantom moon, immense and silent moon. I see a sad procession, and I hear the sound of coming full-keyed bugles. All the channels of the city streets they're flooding, as with voices and with tears. I hear the great drums pounding, and the small drums steady whirring. And every blow of the great convulsive drums strikes me through and through, for the Son is brought with the Father. In the foremost ranks of the fierce assault they fell. 2 veterans, Son and Father, dropped together, and the double grave awaits them. Now nearer blows the bugles, and the drums strike more convulsive, and the daylight over the pavement quite has faded, and the strong dead march enwraps me. In the eastern sky upbuoying, the sorrowful vast phantom moves illumined. 'Tis some mother's large transparent face, in heaven brighter growing. Oh, strong dead march, you please me. O moon immense with your silvery face, you soothe me. O my soldiers twain, O my veterans passing to burial, what I have, I also give you. The moon gives you light, and the bugles and the drums give you music, and my heart, oh, my soldiers, my veterans, my heart gives you love. While my wife at my side lies slumbering, and the wars are over long, My head on the pillow rests at home, and the vacant midnight passes. And through the stillness, through the dark, I hear, just hear, the breath of my infant. There in the room as I wake from my sleep, this vision presses upon me. The engagement opens there and then in a fantasy unreal. The skirmishers begin. They crawl cautiously ahead. I hear the irregular snap, snap. I hear the sound of the different missiles, the short thunk, thunk of the rifle balls. I see the shells exploding, leaving a small white cloud. I hear the great shells shrieking as they pass. The grape sounds like the hum and whir of wind through the trees. Tumultuous now the contest rages. All the scenes at the batteries rise in detail before me again. The crashing and smoking, the pride of the men and their pieces. The chief gunner ranges and sights in his piece and selects a fuse of the right time. After firing, I see him lean aside and look eagerly off to note the effect. Elsewhere, I hear the cry of a regiment charging. The young colonel leads, himself this time, with brandished sword. I see the gaps cut by the enemy's volleys, quickly filled up. No delay. I breathe the suffocating smoke, then the flat clouds hover low, concealing all. Now a strange lull for a few seconds. Not a shot fired on either side. Then resumed the chaos louder than ever, with eager calls and orders of officers, while from distant parts of the field the wind wafts to my ears a shout of applause, some special success, and ever the sound of the cannon far or near, rousing even in dreams a devilish exaltation and all the old mad joy in the depths of my soul, and ever the hastening of infantry shifting positions, batteries, cavalry moving hither and thither. The falling, the dying, I heed not. The wounded dripping in red, I heed not. Some to the rear are hobbling. Grime, heat, rush, aide-de-camps galloping by or on a full run. With the patter of small arms, the warning of the rifles, these in my vision I hear or see, the bombs bursting in air, and at night, the vari-colored rockets. These poems, these words by Walt Whitman, are more than mere words. As he served during the Civil War to help, of his own volition, the wounded and dying of many battles, these are stories, things witnessed or things told to him by the wounded, the dying, and many times family that he kept correspondence with over the years. These poems were merely expressions, an outlet, a way for Walt Whitman to come to terms with the events that took place during that war, and merely entail the horrors of any war. The sights, the sounds, the smells, the aftermath of those left dead, dying, and wounded, and of these things that never go away. As I have said before, it's easy to look at black and white photos and not realize that these people saw colors, heard and felt the wind on their face, loved and were loved, had hopes, dreams, fears, and felt pain. Lest we forget. If you like these stories and poems, subscribe, like, and share, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for future stories. And as always, I thank you for taking the time to listen. The end.